Thanks for watching this screencast. The objective of this screencast is learners will be able to translate between a written description of a situation and a function graph that describes the situation. So here's the scenario we want you to take a look at. We have a function graph. On the horizontal axis, the independent variable is time in seconds. On the vertical axis, the dependent variable is distance from home in meters. This is an object, maybe it's a person, it's not even specific from the scenario given, that has a distance from home that is changing at various times. And what we want to do with this graph is we want to write a description of what's happening, a story, if you will, that goes with this graph. So the prompt says, write a story that the graph below describes. Be sure to include each part, A to D. So we need to decide, and we're going to be able to be a little creative here, what this describes. So I'm going to start like this. I'm going to say, a girl is walking to Reitz. Okay. I know that at time 0 seconds, she's 0 meters away from home. What does that mean about where she starts? Well, she starts at home. She leaves home. And now maybe I want to think about what section A of this graph is. Section A shows that her speed kind of never really changes. She's walking at a speed that is the same. How far did she walk away from home before something happened? Well, she walked until she was 100 meters away from home. She leaves home and walks 100 meters. And then what happens? Then she starts walking back toward home, doesn't she? And the reason I know she's walking back toward home is during this next time, her distance from home is getting smaller and smaller. For this next 20 seconds, her distance from home is becoming less and less. So she leaves home and walks 100 meters, but then she remembers she left her phone at home. But she remembers her phone is at home. Can't have that, can you? She turns around and starts walking home. She turns around to walk home. But then what did she do? Well, then she turned back around and headed toward Reitz. She turns around to walk home, but she realizes the phone is in her backpack. So she hurries to school. Now for this last section, part D, her distance away from home isn't changing. So what could be happening here in our scenario? Maybe she's just at school now. Maybe she's 160 meters away from home rather, and that's just where school is at. So she arrives at school. And waits in the link. And during that time, her distance from home isn't changing. You know, there's a lot of stories you could write here that would work for this graph as well. This is just one example of many. One of the things that we like very much about this particular objective is it allows you a chance to be a little creative and to try and write a narrative that works and describes what you see in a graph. So Panthers, your objective really is to have fun with this today. Thanks for watching.